Good evening and welcome to the May 12th, 2025 legislative session of the Salisbury City Council. In the event of an emergency, we ask that everyone please remain calm, exit through the double doors you came in, make a right, and proceed to the stairwell. If that hallway is blocked, then please exit to the left, around the corner, and down the stairs. Please do not use the elevator, and let us know if you need any assistance. At this time, we do ask everyone please silence your cell phones. And if you are able to, please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I would like to invite up Reverend Howard Travers from New Life Church to give our city invocation. Reverend Travers.
Mayor, council, staff, chamber guests, would you join together with me in prayer? Almighty God, creator and sustainer of all life, we thank you for the gift of liberty and responsibility as leaders of this. This evening, we look to you to guide words and actions here. Let discernment be wise over the difficult issues faced. Grant strength to persevere in the ways that make for peace. Open eyes to see the goodness in what is done here in this room. Open ears that they may hear you. Open hearts that they might be kind and compassionate in responses and in what is done here. Grant your wisdom and direction to know the right decisions to make. Grant your strength to resist that which draws away from unity and good and fair judgment. We ask that you strengthen courage, strengthen resolve to stand up in defense of those difficult issues known to be just in accordance with your word. Our great city honors our state, makes proud our families.
Thank you, Reverend Travers, for that invocation. This time we'll turn to our city clerk, Ms. English, to review tonight's agenda. Ms. English.
Good evening. This evening's agenda has several meeting minutes for approval and 5 resolutions, and we have 7 ordinances, followed by public comment and adjournment.
Thank you, Ms. English. This time I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any proposed changes or amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the agenda as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye, and the agenda is adopted. Ms. English, we'll turn to you again to present the consent agenda. I will entertain a motion to, Ms. English, can you present the consent agenda?
First resolution is resolution number 3382 to annex certain land to be known as Pine Way, Pohanka Kia annexation as described in the property description and annexation plat attached and incorporated as exhibits herein, consisting of 2.954 acres more or less into the city of Salisbury, and to provide for the terms and conditions of the annexation.
Ms. English, just the consent agenda? To present the consent agenda?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
It's been a long day. Consent agenda consists of meeting minutes for approval. They are as follows: October 21st, 2024 work session, November 4th, 2024 work session, November 12th, 2024 legislative session, November 18th, 2024 work session, November 25th, 2024 legislative session, and December 2nd, 2024 work session. We have been very busy.
Thank you, Ms. English. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All right, the motion on the floor is to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye, and the consent agenda has been approved. At this time, we will turn to resolution number 3382. Ms. English, if you want to read that for the record one more time.
I will do it one more time. Resolution number 3382 to annex certain land to be known as Pineway Pohanka Kia Annexation as described in the property description and annexation plat attached and incorporated as exhibits herein consisting of 2.954 acres more or less into the city of Salisbury and to provide for the terms and conditions of the annexation.
Entertain a motion to approve resolution number 3382 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions or discussion from the council?
No.
All right, hearing none, the motion on the floor is to approve resolution number 3382. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye. Resolution number 3382 is approved. I will entertain a motion to approve resolution number 3395.
So moved. Second. Go ahead.
Ms. English?
Resolution number 3395 is appointing Brad Phillips to the Zoo Commission for term ending May 2028.
Any questions or discussion from the council?
None.
Motion on the floor is to approve resolution number 3395. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye. Resolution number 3395 is approved. I will entertain a motion to approve resolution number 3396.
So moved.
In a second.
Second.
Thank you.
Resolution number 3396 is appointing Brett Murphy to the Zoo Commission for term ending May 2028.
Questions or discussion from the council? Motion on the floor is to approve resolution number 3396. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye. Resolution number 3396 is approved. I will entertain a motion to approve resolution number 3397.
So moved. Second.
Ms. English?
Resolution number 3397 is to reappoint Elise Trelligan to the Sustainability Advisory Committee for term ending May 2028.
Are there any questions or discussion from the council? Motion on the floor is to approve resolution number 3397. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye. I will entertain a motion to approve resolution number 3398.
Second.
Ms. English?
Resolution number 3398 is to approve the city's action plan for Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, program year 2025.
Are there any questions or discussion from the council? Motion on the floor is to approve resolution number 3398. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye. Resolution number 3398 has been approved. This time we'll pivot to our ordinances. I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2929 for second reading.
So moved. Second.
Ms. Boucher?
Good evening, everyone. Ordinance number 2929. This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to appropriate funds for the Parkwell Field Raw Water Line Replacement Project. As you mentioned, before you for second reading, no changes or amendments.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Boucher. Are there any questions or discussion from the council?
It's very well needed.
The ordinance on the motion on the floor is to approve ordinance number 2929. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye. The motion passes and ordinance number 2929 is adopted. I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2930 for second reading.
So moved. Second.
Ordinance number 2930. This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Maryland State Arts Council for the purpose of accepting grant funds in the amount of $10,000 and to approve a budget amendment to the grant fund to appropriate these funds for expenses associated with the planning process for a new art installation in the city park. Again, before you for second reading, no changes or amendments since first.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Boucher. Any questions or discussion from the council? Motion on the floor is to approve ordinance number 2930. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye. The motion passes and ordinance number 2930 is adopted. I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2933 for first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Ordinance number 2933. This is an ordinance approving a budget amendment of the FY 2025 general fund budget to appropriate funds to the Salisbury Fire Department's operating budget after the city has been reimbursed $1,863.05 from insurance proceeds for repairs to the Assistant Chief's vehicle. This is before you for first reading. No changes since the presentation during work session.
Thank you. Are there any questions or discussion from the council? Motion on the floor is to approve ordinance number 2933. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye. The motion passes. Ordinance number 2933 is approved. I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2934 for first reading.
So move.
Second.
Ordinance number 2934 is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Department of Housing and Community Development for the purpose of accepting grant funds in the amount of $250,000, authorizing the mayor to enter into a subrecipient agreement with the Railroad Avenue Investments LLC, and to approve a budget amendment to the grant fund to appropriate the aforementioned funds to be used for eligible expenses associated with the Union Railway Station Stabilization Project. Before you for first reading.
Are there any questions or discussion from the council?
I just want to make sure that everyone is clear that this is a grant for a particular project. It can't be used for anything else. And once we enter into an agreement, it's an agreement to use for that project, correct? Is that how I read it and understand it?
That was a good point, Council Vice President. My question was going to be for eligible expenses. Did we, I know there's been some discussion before, have we gone through and made sure that we are in alignment with
Yes.
Yeah,
So they submit a subrecipient agreement with eligible expenses, and it's verified by us. It is a reimbursement grant as well. So it has to be an eligible expenditure. We'll go through that with our grants administrator and then move forward.
Thank you for that,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Kinsborough. Any other questions or discussion from council? All right, motion on the floor is to approve ordinance number 2934. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye, and ordinance number 2934 has been approved. I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2934 has been approved. I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2935 for first reading.
So moved.
Second.
This is the FY 2026 budget ordinance, ordinance number 2935, which would appropriate the necessary funds for the operation of the government and administration for the period July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026, establishing the levy for the general fund for the same fiscal period and establishing the appropriation for the water and sewer, the parking authority, city marina, and stormwater funds.
Are there any questions or discussion from the council?
I think we've really went through that budget pretty good,
Yes.
don't you think? Yeah.
Motion on the floor is to approve ordinance number 2935. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye, and ordinance number 2935 is approved. I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2936 for first reading.
So move. Second.
Ordinance number 2936, this is the FY 2026 water sewer rates at the mayor level. Specifically, it's to amend water and sewer rates to increase by 6% and making said changes effective for all bills dated October 1, 2025 and thereafter, unless and until subsequently revised or changed. Before you for first reading.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion from the council?
I have a point of discussion for this. I would just we talked about it during the budget several times, but make it clear from the administration's office, detail the reasons for the increased rate, and the explanation for the pending and current expenses with the things that we need to develop going forward. I don't know if you want to do it through a media blitz, the Facebook thing, but just kind of really go out there and educate the public about this increase.
Yeah, I covered it in my budget letter, but yeah, I agree. It's primarily from the debt that we're having to take for the PFAS, and some marginal increases in costs as well, but I think that's where we are.
Thank you for that. Yeah, no, we underscored that during budget, so thank you, Council Vice President, for underscoring that as well. I think it's important for the public to see. The motion on the floor is to approve ordinance number 2935 296. Are all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye, and ordinance number 2936 is approved. I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2937 for first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Ordinance number 2937. This is the 2026 fee ordinance, and it's to set fees for FY 2026 and thereafter unless and until subsequently revised or changed.
All right, are there any questions or discussion from the council?
Went through that with a fine tooth comb also, I think.
Yes.
We really did a good job with that, I think.
The motion on the floor is to approve ordinance number 2937. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, the chair votes aye, and ordinance number 2937 is approved. Thank you, Ms. Boucher. Thank you, council. This time we'll pivot to the public comments portion of the agenda. Those who wish to speak tonight may do so by going to the podium. You have 3 minutes to speak on any topic for the legislative session. And we'll start with just asking you, just announce your name and if you are a city resident. We look forward to hearing from you. Oh, if you want to go to the podium. That way we can hear you. Thank you so much.
Susan Holt, and I'm a resident of Salisbury. Thank you for letting me speak. The City of Salisbury Public Art Committee, of which I'm the chair, is composed of
Ms. Holt.
community members
Ms. Holt,
and
can you
art
give us one? I want to make sure we can hear you.
Right now.
There we are.
That better?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay. The City of Salisbury's Public Art Committee is composed of community members and art professionals. It was established in the fall of 2023 as recommended by the city's Public Art Master Plan. The PAC serves to review, prioritize, and recommend proposals for public art from city agencies and the public. We oppose the unilateral removal of a popular community-sponsored crosswalk which celebrates diversity. For more than a year, we have voiced our disagreement with the mayor's plan to remove or replace the crosswalk. Since its inception, the PAC has recognized the need to establish procedures and guidelines for the removal or modification of public art. With the guidance of the author of the Salisbury Public Art Master Plan, a draft amendment to clarify policies is nearing completion and will be submitted to the city for review and ratification as soon as possible. Until such time that comprehensive procedures are adopted to remove existing public art, it is the PAC's strong recommendation that the RFP for the crosswalk canvas at the proposed location be designated to another intersection in the city or withdrawn. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Holt. We appreciate your service to the Public Arts Committee.
All right, my name is KT. I'm a city resident, and I agree with Susan Holt, obviously. Exactly 1 year ago, I stood right here, and I warned you exactly what was going to happen. I warned you of his culture war that was going to happen, and here we are in the middle of it. The mayor's continued crusade against the LGBTQ community by erasing the pride crosswalks and by using the very same executive actions he has been extremely critical of past mayors using, as well as bypassing the processes described in our public art master plan, may rise to the level of misfeasance. I just learned that word, which the city charter defines as the improper doing of an act which a person might lawfully do. After hearing a recent interview with Don Rush on Delmarva Public Radio, he has made it abundantly clear that he intends on erasing Black Lives Matter Boulevard. The city is a melting pot of a wide variety of cultures that all deserve to be seen, celebrated, and made to feel welcome in a city that promotes all are welcome here. Mr. Mayor, your RFP with a $3,000 stipend attached to it to find a qualified artist as defined by our public art master plan is frankly insulting to artists as a whole. You are clearly not very well informed on what the cost of time, quality materials, labor, and maintenance are to create a piece of public art. At $3,000, you would be asking an artist to pay the remaining cost of installing the piece out of pocket. Had you consulted with the arts professionals on the Public Art Committee, you would have known the proper cost associated with contracting a qualified artist to design and install a piece of public art. You do not have the support for this. Please drop it. However, if you want to do a community canvas, which I think is actually a really brilliant idea, please leave it to the professionals on the Public Art Committee. And please choose another location, or let us help you choose another location. Thank you.
Thank you, KT, and appreciate your service to the Public Arts Committee.
Good afternoon. David James, city resident. I just have a concern, and that's on permits. About a month or so back, my church, we had got a permit through the mayor to do a praise in the park. And at the same time, unknowing to the mayor, there was also a permit for a rally. I'm not going to say what kind of rally it is, but it was a rally. Both sides did cooperate. Both sides did not have a problem. However, law enforcement there even said the rally and the fact that we were a Christian organization could have went in a different direction if there weren't actually people who could get along. So if we can, please not have two people or two different places giving permits, because conflicting sides sometimes can cause a lot of problems. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The administration is tracking that. Thank you for your concern.
Good evening. First of all, I'm not a city resident, I'm a city business person. Do I still able to speak?
Yes, the term is just if you are a city
I'm
resident.
going to give this paperwork.
If you want to give it to the clerk, then we'll make sure we pass it out afterwards.
There's a copy for everyone.
Okay.
Thank you so much. My name is Don D'Aquila. I have the property down at 225 Cypress Street, just down the street from this property, just down the street from the police department. And it's come to my attention on several occasions that, you know, our police department does not have take-home cars. And the reason I'm here tonight, speaking strictly for myself, I've not been solicited for anybody, but let me just go down my list. Officer retention is certainly huge. All the municipalities that I'm familiar with locally have take-home cars, okay? Now, additional benefits associated with the take-home cars beyond officer retention is the vehicle is equipped with the individual officer's work items in the area in which is immediately available. Response and inventory is key. Looking for anything associated with policing raises safety concern for the officers and the people being served. Sometimes seconds make a difference. Having a take-home vehicle, you will find that maintenance costs are absolutely reduced. You can ask any municipality that question. You can ask the state police that question. You can ask the sheriff's department that question. Individual officer's vehicle makes them responsible for making sure that the vehicle is maintained properly, thus reducing cost of maintenance. Keeping the vehicle in top mechanical and appearance again reduces cost, adds to the vehicle life, and adds to the officer's readiness and public safety. Example, an officer in a rotating shift vehicle uses the last caution tape, the last flare, doesn't fill the vehicle with fuel, fails to report a maintenance issue, and the next officer starts the shift with any of the above items, there's a compromise to being able to do the job efficiently, professionally, and safely. The officer considers the vehicle as theirs and takes care of it accordingly. If you watch any TV program, they say my vehicle. Abuse of vehicles is unlikely due to the vehicle being used to travel to and from headquarters. Response time will be better. Neighborhood visibility. I would think that bad behavior doesn't happen as often in a neighborhood where there's an officer with a police vehicle in the driveway. The cost of training an officer, in my opinion, you would know better than myself, but I think I'm pretty close, probably is close to $100,000. To lose a well-trained officer to a surrounding agency because of a take-home vehicle should not have to be a reason for the officer leaving. I'm currently a tow provider for the city of Salisbury. I'm very familiar with our Salisbury Police Department. They work hard, they are dedicated to serving our great city, and we have to do what it takes to give them the tools they need to safely and professionally perform their duties. Additionally, I am of the opinion that the city of Salisbury and its residents will see the positive results and support them, and do what it takes to improve our police department, enable them to perform their jobs to the highest of standards. If I can be of any assistance in helping the police department with maximizing the department's maintenance and procurement cost, I have 50-plus years of automotive experience and business experience. I would be glad to volunteer to assist.
Thank you.
You're so
Appreciate your
welcome.
comments. Yeah, and you were pretty close. I think the last numbers were about 80 to 88,000 to train an officer. And while the mayor's office did not propose any new vehicles, the mayor's office did see fit to add 7 more vehicles to their fleet. So we're trying to get closer to that number. But thank you for your comment. Sir?
Joe Schiaffino, Salisbury resident. I just want to take a minute and address an issue that affects too many Maryland counties and cities. It's a massive conflict of interest, in my opinion. The Wycomico County Council recently rectified this, and I'd urge this council to follow suit and do likewise. I'm referring to local ethics commissions. I did some investigating, and I found that a majority of Maryland cities and counties use the city and county solicitor also for an ethics commission. In my opinion, that represents a huge conflict of interest. During an ethics investigation, the solicitor is being asked to pass judgment on and advise an ethics commission if a violation has occurred and should it be further investigated. This puts the solicitor in a potentially compromised position. How can the public have confidence in a procedure that is done confidentially and advised by the same solicitor who was hired by and works for the people that they're supposedly investigating? Hiding behind the confidentiality cloak, the Ethics Commission will not provide any reasons for dismissing an ethics complaint. Further, there's no way for the public to know if a member of an ethics commission is a personal friend of the elected official being investigated. Again, it's a conflict of interest hidden from the public view. Maryland ethics commissions, as they're set up now, in my opinion, only act as a protection racket for the elected officials it's supposed to be investigating. Therefore, I don't have any confidence that they're functioning as envisioned by the public. In order to help restore some confidence in the ethics complaint process, I would urge this council to follow the lead of the Wycomico County Council and allow the Ethics Commission to hire its own counsel as needed, preferably from outside the city or the county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nathan Cope? Not yet. Time is short. Here's a speech. Okay. And go. Nathan Cox, Salisbury City resident. And as part of the LGBT community, in a sense, it makes sound ironic that I am not for the crosswalk, but at the same time, I'm, as someone who can see all sides of topics and commonsensical things, I'm highly against getting rid of it. I would imagine that it would, I assume, come out of city money and time to get rid of something that was free to the community. Not to mention, we've talked about numerous times, just 100 feet, maybe a little more away from the crosswalk, the absence of a railing for protection that needs to be done. Not trying to bring it up right now, but that's something that should be done compared to something that should be reversed real close. And I can see where I think one is coming from with having more equality to it. Because the LGBT crosswalk there supports the LGBT community, but no other community. Okay, sure. So what I would suggest maybe is find another crosswalk. There's at least a few, it's maybe at least 3 different intersections downtown. Suggest to any other demographic, any other group, would you like to paint a crosswalk downtown? You know, maybe if you do something that you got downtown and next to the Hippodrome in Baltimore, have a zipper kind of interesting, something more artistic, something that shows more enthusiasm for other arts and other groups of people. I get where it may seem like we're kind of excluding LGBT. Well, we don't have to. We can put other groups in other intersections. That's all it needs to be done to make it equal, after all. And of course, they can volunteer to paint their own intersection without getting rid of any others and reversing what is considered social progress. That's all I gotta say toward that statement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Robert Taylor, Salisbury resident. I didn't come here to speak to the take-home police car matter, but I think that it might be worth considering. I did come to speak about affordable housing, and like the gentleman said earlier, a year ago, I stood at this podium and talked about that, said the same thing. When are we going to do something about it? The council, former mayor, have been talking about this for years. Nothing's been done. There was a series of meetings at the new fire headquarters station over the last 6 or 8 months. I think President Dowdy arranged those meetings to discuss the housing situation. There was some discussion of requiring developers, when they do a subdivision, to provide so much affordable housing. That's a good idea. I suggested that a year ago. We know other places do it. It can be done. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do. It takes some ordinances, but they're fairly commonplace. In addition to that, there's other things we can do. We have these tax giveaway programs. I'm speaking primarily of the Horizon program, up to a 20-year tax waiver. If people want tax waivers, they should be required to provide affordable housing. For example, we now have 20 years under the Horizon program. Frankly, I think that should be reduced to 10, but that's a different matter. But if somebody wants any of that Horizon program, let's say a 25% affordable housing requirement for the first 5 years. If they want to extend it beyond that, they've got to up that. If they want to go another 5 years, say they got to go to 30% affordable housing. If they want to go to 15 years, they got to go to 35. If they want the full 20, 40%. And I mean really serious affordable housing, where it's dedicated, it's in the land records, it can't be just dissolved and done away with if the developer flips the property to somebody else. We need to form a work group and get started on this. We've talked about it for years, including this council for months now. And it's time to get going on it. As I say, the Horizon, other things, Here is Home, pilot programs, anything we're doing, TIFs if we ever get into those, they should be required to provide affordable housing at a reasonable rate. And that would be, for example, 60% of area median income, not 95%, real affordable housing. And if we're not going to do anything about it, let's stop talking about it. Good night.
Thank you. I agree, Mr. Taylor. We paused on that because the suggestion was to make sure it was part of the comprehensive plan review, which that is going on, but also there are a few developments that are part of the process now that have been grandfathered in with pilots and Here is Home, and they are not receiving those benefits. So it wouldn't be prudent of us to continue with ordinances and resolutions that would honor those, that would guarantee those if they're not being honored at the administrative level. So council fully supports it, but it has to be done on both the legislative and the administrative side. So we will do it, but if we legislate it, it has to be done administratively.
You got to start somewhere. You all take the ball. Got the ball. It's in your court.
I'll remember that, Mr. Taylor. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Liza McEntee. I was actually not planning on speaking at all tonight, and then 2 things happened on my way here that are now motivating me to come up to the podium. So some of you may know my name from an email chain that I've started with some of you regarding a littering problem that I'm having with D.R. Horton Construction. I reside near Pemberton Elementary. They are rapidly putting up houses in my neighborhood and are being extremely irresponsible with their construction garbage. I have found dead wildlife tangled up in plastic sheeting. It's been a mess. I reached out to them many times. They completely ignored me. They did not start responding to me until I got the city involved, and then suddenly they wanted to talk. So I do really appreciate the response from the city when I reached out. I'm very grateful for the initial action that was taken on that. I do want to point out, unfortunately, the problem is continuing. They are continuing to ignore me. They are continuing to not control their site. They are leaving overflowing dumpsters uncovered with lightweight trash that is not contained in bags. It's just blowing all over the place. They're well aware that it's a high wind site, and they just don't seem interested in responding to me or addressing the problem. Tonight, I got a text from a neighbor of mine that she was walking her dog in the neighborhood and found a bag of concrete in the pond that had blown in there, and it was right near a geese nesting site. On my way here, one of the contractor trucks that was in front of me was driving through the neighborhood, and nails were just pouring out of the back of the truck and are now all over the road. So ultimately, I don't know what has been done thus far to address DR Horton and other developers that are irresponsible in their site management and their trash management, but it is disrupting local communities, other homeowners, and it is harming wildlife. It is such an easily addressable problem. These are grown adults who are perfectly capable of cleaning up after themselves and yet do not seem interested in doing so. I don't know if fines have been levied against them, but frankly, I think that hitting them in the wallet is maybe the only way that they might actually listen to this issue and address it. I know that there's been a big movement lately to keep Salisbury clean, keep it litter-free. I know there are fines that can be levied. This is such a fixable problem. It's so simple. I can't believe I even have to get up here and talk about it. They need to be responsible for their trash, and so I just wanted to bring that additionally to the city's attention so that wildlife are not harmed, communities are not disrupted, and that new development coming in knows that they are going to be held to account by the city to be responsible for their debris. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming and making that comment. I was going to let you know that I was going to go out there myself so I can see it, but you mentioned about the nails, and I don't want to buy 4 brand new. So, but Ms. English, can you make a note for me to check into that, because this is a second concern not only from contractors but from general public about trash and trash compactors and management. So I think we need to look into legislating that so that our code enforcement officers and our DHCD team can actually hold people accountable. So thank you.
President Daly, we did go out there, and we've done 2 follow-ups. We haven't issued any fines yet, but every day is another day for them to make a mess. So it's one of these things we're going to have to stay on it, and that's what we're going to have to do. Is we have to go 30 days, whatever it takes. But we can get their attention, I can assure you.
I appreciate it. I think fines may be the only way to achieve that, but thank you.
It is.
So, Lynn Bratton, good evening, and I do have a kind thing to say. Congratulations to one of my former students on a wonderful promotion and an exit. Maybe I'm taking somebody's thunder, but I'm very proud to say that he was a James and Bennett graduate under my time there, and I wish him only the best and the most successful career possible. I'll miss having you around here at some point. And the second,
Come to Easton.
I actually went to Easton after 20 years. I crossed the Bay Bridge all by myself the other day, drove it myself, and I treated myself to ice cream at a lovely little store in Easton. Checking out your digs, I really did.
All right.
But I'm here today to just make a commercial for our community players of Salisbury. On Friday night, we are producing Heroes of the Eastern Shore, a World War II presentation written by Matt Bogdan, who is the president of Community Players and a retired English teacher from Pocomoke. He has done several storytelling series out there that have been amazing. This one is being offered free of charge to anyone who wants to come through a grant that Matt was able to get from the Beach to Bay Heritage Foundation. And it's also going to be taken on the road. The first one will be Friday night at 7:30 at our center on Nutter's Crossroad. We have a burgeoning new, I think that's a word, theater that we're putting together, and we would invite anyone that would like to see it firsthand to come out and enjoy an evening of theater and fellowship, particularly if you have anyone who is a retired military or anyone in your families who served. These are first-person stories that Matt has researched, and we would love to have others added to it as time goes on. He, of course, could only get so much into one show, so we're not looking to hurt anyone's feelings by being not. We're looking for expanding experiences through camaraderie and discussion. After that, we're going to be at the American Legion in Princess Anne, the American Legion in Easton, the American Legion in Ocean City, the American Legion in Salisbury, and the VFW in Cambridge. And I'm sure next year, I can't talk for anybody else, and you never assume, but hopefully it will be an ongoing program that he will continue to expand, and that we, through the Community Players Association in Salisbury, can offer to the public as a service recognizing our heroes. Thank you.
Thank you. Other public comments? Right, seeing none. Okay, seeing none, I do adjourn this meeting and we'll transition to our work session. Time is now 6:41. We will start tonight's work session with an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with DNR Waterway Improvement Fund from some members of our fire department. So we welcome you, and if you can just state your name and title for the record, we'll be glad to hear from you tonight.
You're welcome. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good, how are you?
I'm Deputy Chief Chris Obarski.
I'm Deputy Chief Chris Truitt.
You can't get us wrong. Call us Chris, we'll answer.
Yep, makes it easy.
If I could ask, we have 4 items to go over this evening. Is it okay that if we're up here, we can go over all 4?
Let's do it. Just let me know which one, and then we'll cross her off the list.
Thank you.
It'll be 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Oh, no, I know which one. I just want to state which ones that we stay on track here. Thank you.
So the grant funds for the DNR boat motor. So you may remember last year, we received a grant for a little bit larger boat motor for our skiff, which is about a 16-foot skiff. This year, and that last year was a 50-50 grant. We had to pay, I think the total cost was around $12,000. We had to pay half of that. And then this year I wrote for a smaller boat motor for our John boat, which is a 14-foot John boat, to replace a rather old and aging and highly maintenance boat motor. It was started out as a 50-50 grant. However, as the year went on, the state said they had some money that they could pay for the whole motor. So it actually switched in the middle of everything. So the original grant was for half, however, it switched and became full. So that's why it's $2,156 versus what was going to be half. I'm sorry?
Okay. Point of order, Council Vice. No.
And then it's a reimbursement grant, so they will reimburse us the money. So that process has already started.
Good.
Excellent.
Anything you need to add? Council, any questions?
Approved.
I'm going to go home for the night. Now, any objections? Do we have consensus?
Yes.
Yes, all right, perfect. Next. No, that is a really good, for the state to offer that up. I'm not sure if
That's
you all
nice.
solicited that, but that is good. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I did not solicit that.
Yeah.
They actually reached out to me right before Christmas.
Let's stay in the state's good graces.
Said that they had money from a different grant to cover it, so then we had to go that route, so.
Grab it.
Yeah.
Yep. Next.
No, next is you.
Oh, is it still me?
Yeah, it's you for the REACH grant.
Oh, for the what?
I thought you all
Reach.
figured this out beforehand.
Yay.
You could, no, I'm messing.
REACH.
We have the,
Yeah.
the budget amendment.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that was me because I didn't write for it.
Oh.
The next is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Title Health for the purpose of accepting the sub-granted funds.
Yes, okay.
In the amount of $74,740. And this is to be used for the partial salary and benefits for the SWIFT community paramedic. This has been going on now for a couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is just to continue that grant
Right.
for that SWIFT program.
Yeah.
Perfect. I just want to make sure, okay, anything that's changed with this? I know that, if I remember correctly from last year, portion of this covers the actual medical professionals, or am I mixing this up with something else?
So this covers the MDCN paramedics.
So this is,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha, these are the,
Yes.
the
This-
extra person.
Yeah,
okay.
this doesn't, I don't know if you, were you thinking it covered the nurse practitioners?
I think that was the, yes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
Okay.
cover them.
Okay,
Right.
No.
perfect, thank you. All right, council, any other questions moving forward?
No.
None.
Okay, we have consensus to move this forward?
Yes.
Thank you. Deputy Chief.
Sure.
Yep.
All right, so next, we'll talk about, we had a recent sale of some surplus radios, and we lumped it all together. It was radios, lapel microphones, and belt clips, just under $19,000. And we would like this to be allocated to our medical supplies account. We've been pushing off the replacement of our video laryngoscopes for quite a while now, and we have a few that have some cracked screens and things like that. And starting July 1, it's going to be moved from an optional to a mandated thing for the state. So, I mean, we've had these video scopes for a while, but these newer ones will be a lot more user-friendly. The folks seem to like the hands-on a little bit more. And yeah, the old cameras are about 10 years old, so the batteries are not lasting.
What's going to be the, so how many cameras will these use?
This will allow us to outfit all 6 transport units.
That's all I needed to know. Okay, good.
Yeah.
We approve.
It gets better and better.
It does. No, I
This
was,
is awesome.
so I
Thank
just,
you.
and I know that we, you know, council did approve for, or we're in support of, you know, the new radios. I just wanted to know about, you know, the new radios versus, but this is a, you know, a good, if it's going from something that is not optional to mandated, and this is going to cover the full scope, I think that's something good. But just, I want to make sure we just make that known there. So we have consensus, council?
Yes.
Fantastic. Next item, Mr. Truitt.
All right. So, talking about surpluses, we also had a few heart monitors that we were no longer able to be utilized. Put them out on Gov deals, and we were able to sell them just over $6,000. And we'd like this to be moved over to our vehicles account as well as the building account. The breakdown is in the actual ordinance if you need it. It is, yeah, $2,141 into the vehicles account and building account by $4,000. And we recently have had some unexpected costs in some of our older staff vehicles. One of the fire marshal trucks had an airbag sensor recall, and evidently Ford doesn't make that airbag sensor anymore. So it was quite the laborious effort trying to find the replacement for that.
Mr. Don back there, he offered up his services, so, no,
I don't know if he could find it, but
we're gonna hit, I'm gonna hit him up.
But we weren't able to find it, and yeah,
You
it
all
is
laughing, I'm serious.
It is safe now. It's
Okay.
replaced, and we also had to replace an entry door at Fire Station 1.
Okay.
It was, if somebody ever tried to get into that, you had to really like wrench on the door to get in and out. So
yes.
we were able to replace both of those. But again, fortunately, this amount will offset that.
Good.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Loving it.
Council, any questions?
No.
Consensus to move forward?
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, appreciate you all.
Thank you. Thank you for accumulating all this money. This is wonderful. This is
Right during
wonderful.
budget season, yeah, no
Yeah.
coincidence, no. Next, we'll move to an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract for the Maryland Arts Council, and we'll invite up the Events and Culture Manager, Caroline O'Hare. There she is, yes. Good evening, Ms. O'Hare.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
So we were very happy to find that we were awarded a $5,000 grant to support a roster artist from the Maryland State Arts Councils, who that is going to help us supplement some of the artist fee costs as well as some of the backline and whatnot. And we're very excited.
Wonderful.
Yep.
That is really good.
More money.
Can you
Yes.
can you mention which artists this will cover?
Sure, that's actually going to cover Charm City Junction, and they are going, we had such a good time last year, they are going to do a square dance for us. So we're going to bring that back. In the beginning last year, it was me and I think 4 or 5 other people.
Yes,
And then about 10 minutes in, couple hundred,
wow.
or at least maybe not participating, but definitely a couple hundred watching,
Yes.
and dozens participating. So
I'm sure we have some
can't
good
wait.
footage of that as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, no, that's good. Thank you for that. And if you were going to get, and I think Beyonce's on tour. I think we're going to try to get Beyonce to Salisbury.
Yep, she's definitely on the call list.
Well, then that's good. Thank you for that. Council, any questions or comments?
No.
We
thank you,
appreciate
thank
that.
you,
And that
thank you
partnership
for
with the
bringing
Maryland
this
Arts
to us.
Council is good. So thank you for that. Consensus to move forward?
Yes,
Wonderful.
definitely.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Jackson said that she will dub as Beyonce and put on a wig. So we have that
Oh, my goodness.
free of charge. I think that is. So that, yeah.
No,
Maybe
I can
that's a
outsing-
fundraiser.
I
right?
can outsing Beyonce now. I might not be able to outmove her.
We have a spot on the local stage if you'd like to.
Thank you, Miss O'Hare. Oh, goodness.
the local.
Oh, man.
That would be funny. Thanks, Caroline.
All right, perfect.
Loving it.
All right, that is, any other items, work session? Perfect, all right. Seeing none, we'll pivot to the public comment section of the agenda. If you have any comments on the above items, you are invited to the podium to speak for 3 minutes. We just ask you to mention your name and if you are a city resident. Once, twice. All right, thank you all. Seeing no public comments, we'll pivot to administration comments. We'll pivot to you, Mr. Kitzrow.
Thank you. Yes, the news is out. I am moving career path to Town of Easton. I'll have my final remarks at my final meeting on June 23rd. So you're stuck with me for a few more times. But yeah, a lot more to be said there. Another third Friday coming up this Friday. So please come on out if the weather pending. And then to all of the mothers around this table, happy belated Mother's Day. Whether you've got little ones, big ones, or furry ones, happy Mother's Day to all of you. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Kitzrow.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I just want to speak to the folks that spoke on the topic of the crosswalks tonight. I had a good meeting with Mark Delancey on Friday night, and we talked about a few things. I think maybe that may be a reconnection on that topic. I think, again, unappropriately, I resent this idea that I'm doing something that's anti-gay or anything anti-pride. Viewpoint discrimination is a problem, and from a governmental perspective, and doing it in triplicate or duplicate isn't helping. So I thought this approach was a very easy way to transition from what I believe to be violation of our covenant as a municipality. So that's all I'm trying to do here, and this idea of vindicating me or making me seem like I'm something that I'm not is really upsetting to me, but it's on you for that. If you're doing that, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do as a mayor in terms of this issue. You say, well, we can do more crosswalks and more indication of more subjects and promote more things, but that's more of the same. And so we've got to I think this might be a solution way of mitigating it in doing a community-based design, and I'm hoping that we'll move forward with that and that's stopping the step behind us as a community. Thank you.
Council, any comments or discussion?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
I know hers is probably a little bit more, but the Wycomico County NAACP will be hosting May the 19th. They will have Dr. Stephen Leonard, CEO of Tidal Health. So you'll learn more about the new Tidal Health that is coming in the Church Street area. So I would love to see some of you there because I am definitely going to try to make it there myself. And it's at 6 p.m., St. James on Mack Avenue,
Did you say the 19th?
the 19th.
And it's on the new one that's going to be on the west side.
Yeah.
The new community center.
No, it's not a community center.
It's
It's
the health.
Title Health.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the Title Health Center on True.
Okay.
In the, okay.
Church
I got
Street
you.
area.
At 6 o'clock?
At 6. And also, I host in VFW 10159 Wycomico County Memorial, hosted a homeless feeding and hunger feeding, and it was phenomenal. It was really phenomenal, and I would like to thank everyone who participated, donated, just prayed for us. It was really a nice turnout. We had 40, but 40 is a good number for us just starting this, and hopefully we'll be doing this continuously each month. I'm hoping to be doing this once a month, but it was a very nice program, and we had a lot of help. And I'm going to tell you, we had plenty of clothes, shoes, everything, and plenty of food. So, when I announce it the next time, just take part and just see what's being done. It's good to help. It's always good to help others and the community. That's what we should be doing, helping our community thrive. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Councilwoman Jackson. We and yes, that I appreciate that. The meeting, it is on the new one that's going to be on Morris Street, the new community clinic that's going to be on Morris Street.
Is it on Morris?
The new one on the west side. Title Health is doing a new community center on Morris Street. Yep, on the west side of town. They're doing the same thing, similar thing as the Church Street one on the west side of town. It's really going to be really good. So this is going to highlight that.
That's where they clean the lot.
Yes. I just want to make sure it's another one they're doing too. Yep, so really good.
That is nice.
May 19th, 6 o'clock at St. James AME. Councilwoman DeShiel.
Couple things. For those of you that graduated from SU, they are going to be, they've already initiated it, but in September, they'll be starting to celebrate with lots of activities, a centennial celebration. And the one thing that I live near college students, as a lot of you know, and they become friends and they also become problems sometimes, but we work it out. The athletic department at SU, as of the last couple of weeks, have given 9,000 hours to the community. I think that's a huge credit to the younger generation. I'm thrilled with that. As you well know, we've had 2 focus groups for feedback on the comprehensive plan. There'll be 2 more. Thank you for the fire department for hosting that. And there are 2 more coming up. The other thing that really warms my heart, because I've been involved with it for quite a few years, is HOPE, which is housed in the basement of the Presbyterian Church, and it stands for Help and Outreach Point of Entry. And they make it birth certificates, IDs, things like that, all available for people that have lost them or need them. And just so that you know, they are now feeding 100-plus people a lunch on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's a lot of manpower. It's also a lot of input. And they held a shout out for Debbie Rossi, who is in charge of HOPE right now. They had a community resource fair last weekend, and they had 22 representatives from different agencies available to anyone that needed any help. Title Health, Care First, you had public health, focus point, housing, health insurance, different things like that. So they did a great job with that. And now I can announce that the airport, Breeze Airways, will be coming to the airport. They will be flying to Orlando International Airport twice a week, Monday and Friday, starting October 1st. And they are initiating a new route, and other airports in Salisbury seem to got the most hits this way. And finally, I would like to follow up on what, with the affordable housing, because that's been a pet peeve of mine, that we need housing. Renting is one thing, but there are also people that would like to purchase a home. And I think that's another piece we forget when we say we need affordable housing. Yes, we need it for renting, but we also need it for people who would like to have what we used to call a starter home, and I think that needs to be thought about in inventory as well. So, President Dowdy, if you don't mind, if we could set up a work session regardless of your comment with, administration, if we as a council could set up a work session to put some guidelines in place for developers moving forward. And I appreciate, Bob Taylor, I liked your recommendation of percentages, and I will write those down and build that in so that moving forward, we at least have taken a stand on what we expect for affordable housing requirements. So, thank you.
Sure, yeah, I welcome that conversation, but I'd still stand by what I said, that we can create a stack of legislation, but if it is not followed through an administrative level, we are wasting our time. So I want to make that abundantly clear that I support it, but administration has to follow through. So we can get to work. We will bring that back up. So thank you for underscoring that, Councilwoman DeShiel. Any of my council members on this side?
First of all, last week I got to meet with Green Team. I just wanted to check in with administration. They've been trying to get some information from some of the department heads just to make informed decisions on projects they want to work on and gathering data and information. So if I can connect with you after the meeting and we can get them the info they're asking for, that would be great. Most of it's specifically to do with waterworks and the water department and things like that. So if we can get them the data that they're looking for, that would be fantastic. Just want to reiterate what our exiting city administrator is highlighted, and that's third Friday, this Friday at downtown. The theme is paw prints. I do have a new puppy who I cannot promise will be on her best behavior, but she will be on behavior. She's learning. She's very friendly. We'll see how she does. This will be her first trial in a very busy public setting.
Oh, this is when we can do the council, we're going to do a council dog.
Yeah, we need to do a council dog.
Hold on. We can.
I got one for you.
She has four.
I have four of my share.
She's got plenty.
Mine barks at everybody, so.
I'm the only one that doesn't have an animal.
We'll get you one.
So, we have some to spare, all of us do. Just bring your puppies out, come check out what's going on. I also want to highlight that Atlantis Tattoo, the 16th through the 18th, they're going to be doing a flash tattoo fundraiser for the Salisbury Zoo. They've done this before. They have some really cute little line design tattoos. Are you thinking about getting one? Yeah, it goes to a good cause.
I have none.
It goes to a good. I'm not. I am.
I have one.
I don't do needles very easily, so that's not my jam. But they've done this before, and it was really successful last time. So I'm hoping that this one does well as well. So that's all I've got.
Thank you, Councilwoman Gregory. Councilwoman Jack, do you have one more?
I did want to ask one question. Now, affordable, attainable housing is always brought to the city, but does anybody ever take it to the county? Because I want to say this. In my district, we have multiple affordable housing developments.
Mitchell Landing, ribbon cutting.
Mitchell Landing is one, Village of Mitchell Pond is one, River's Edge, Pemberton, Gateway, Westbrook Commons.
St. Leonard's.
These are Leonard's Apartments, Lakeview Apartments. These places are affordable. Now, right now, as far as building more, I don't have a problem with it. I'd love to see them. But what I'd love to see right now is the ones that have been mismanaged be revitalized and renovated up to the standards. Now, if somebody wants to go about building another one, I would love to see it be affordable, but I would love to see it to be attainable, where parents wouldn't have to work 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that their children are safe at home, because a lot of times people are actually working 2 or 3 jobs to maintain their houses or their apartments today. So I would my question was, have we gone to the county? Because there is only one place in the county that I can actually say that is affordable, and that's Stone Grove on Booth Street. That's the only one that I can say that's in the county, actually in the county. And that should be a question for us to ask the county. why aren't they building more affordable housing? It's always the city, but we're in the city, we're in the county, but the county needs to be putting something out in their county, in the county.
Some information on that right now?
Excuse me?
Can I give you some information on the county?
You can give it to me after the meeting. You can.
There's no subdivision going on in the county.
Well, it needs to be.
Councilman Jackson, does that have city, the one you just referred to, it's in the county, does it have city water and sewer?
They have a,
Okay.
because of the EDUs,
Yeah.
but we would have to, there's a phase 2 that could happen for that.
Yeah, for
They need
that
to be-
area.
They need to be given EDUs, which is,
But it's still county.
yeah, they have access to, Mr.
City
Kitchford
water.
knows all about, we can't have you, okay, never mind.
And I've been knowing him for how many years,
Yes,
Andy?
yes.
From the county
Yeah,
to the
wait.
city. From the county to the city, and I hate to see you leave.
Yes.
But
Thank you, Councilwoman Jackson. Yeah.
I'll just be
greater
getting up
height.
at this one next.
Huh?
I'll just be coming up at that podium and having some
Oh, man.
things to say.
behave yourself, behave yourself.
Council Vice President, any comments?
Several, thank you. I would like to highlight a couple different things about affordable housing. The city did just open up Mitchell Landing, which was the repair and restoration of many units for affordable housing. There was some delay in regards to the process on the administration side, but we worked through that and got that done. So we have affordable housing opened up at Mitchell Landing, and that also includes the senior citizen side on Riverside Drive in the Wacomico Senior, I don't want to say Senior Center, but
Housing Authority.
It's River Mitch.
Thank you, River Mitch. So the city has proudly restored and reopened those just last week. So we've made some progress in that way. And like I said, there were some delays on the administration side, but we had worked through them and pushed through them, and the council was able to get some of that done. So in regards to other developers, it depends on if the administration has been deciding to actually give the permits. If the administration decides to not give permits, then that holds up other developers' processes, and it holds up the fact that other developers don't want to come here and develop. And and that would go into like the $40 million lawsuit, and then just another notice that we got from another developer regarding a potential suit in regards to not being able to attain the permits that were rightfully granted by the council and had contract for projects.
Councilman Blake,
So,
again, you're
I'm
incorrect.
speaking,
You're just
I'm
incorrect.
speaking.
You're just incorrect. I mean,
Mayor, I'm
you're just
speaking, I'm
incorrect.
speaking, I'm speaking.
Folks,
Try to
I'm
put that out.
speaking.
Folks,
When
folks.
I'm speaking, I'm speaking. When you speak, you speak.
Okay.
We can disagree. It's okay to disagree. I don't have to agree with you, Randy. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. You say what you want to say, and Angela Blake is going to say what she wants to say.
true. That's
The
true.
$40 million lawsuit and the notice for intent to sue, it's clear language what's in those documents. That's plain English. Anyone can read them. They're public information. Anyone can read those documents.
I encourage it.
Mr. Mayor, if you want to just, I think the
I'm
council.
just responding. If she's responding, she's
I know, but
attacking me.
It's my turn to speak.
Okay.
Hold on. So, and again, I think
Proceed.
hold on. We all have our chance to speak, so just if we can hold back from interrupting, Mr. Mayor, I think
Okay. got
if you want to, if you can
I
certainly.
can do a
have-
wrap up. Okay.
Yes, you can have all the floor after
All right,
Council Vice
okay.
President is done. Yes.
So the documents speak for themselves, and so it's not that Angela Blake is speaking these, the multiple lawyers that are bringing the documents on that bring these things on, and this is what's putting off a lot of development, and a lot of developers not really wanting to look to follow through with some things that were maybe in the pipeline, or to go ahead and bring in some other things. So that's something that we are trying to balance in the midst of also trying to get a
Okay. Hold on. Let's make Council Vice President a public. Again, we love to hear
Didn't we
from you.
adopt
But
the
hold
point of
on
order?
a second. Hold on. If we could just refrain from, if we could refrain from that, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Let's see.
Council Vice President, you have the floor.
Here are the facts. It's public information. I invite anybody to get their copy of the facts. It's right here.
I'll give it to you.
So it'll be the same facts. So again, the point of order and the point of the way we do point of order is the council has adopted it, so we're going to follow it. So when someone is speaking, no one else is speaking. And if you want to say something different, it's totally okay to disagree. It's totally okay. I don't expect our points of view to be the same, and that's okay. I'm just saying what I'm saying. And that also goes to, I will pivot from the paperwork to the crosswalk. On September the 4th of 2024, the Human Rights Committee did hold a meeting and did talk in depth about the crosswalk. And there was also some comments in regards to not only the Pride crosswalk, but the Black Lives Matter crosswalk. And I think the Human Rights Committee will speak for themselves as a committee, but as the liaison, I can tell you that there has been a movement, even before Mayor Taylor took office, that he wanted to paint over that crosswalk. And we have had discussions about that before in council meetings in chambers and in other meetings that I've, and our viewpoints differ, and it's okay that they differ. Again, Angela Blake is speaking for what her experiences and what she has heard from the mayor. The mayor can say whatever he wants to say. It's okay. It can be different. It doesn't matter. I'm saying what I want to say about it. So I do not agree with anybody touching or removing that crosswalk, and I'm going to personally do everything that I can. I'm only speaking for myself and not the rest of the council, but everything I can to preserve and keep that masterpiece. I do want to thank, I guess the third Friday, I wanted to get back and talk to the third Friday again about the Pauls. I hope to be down there with, I don't know if I'll have all 4 of my puppies down there, but I may have 1 or 2, but I'm looking forward to going down there. I think that's it at the moment, and if anyone else can reserve the right to speak back, I would like to reserve my right to speak back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice President. Did you?
Yeah, just a couple things. The project she's referring to is Marina Landing, and Marina Landing is a rental product, which is hopefully a
Mr.
project.
Mayor, I want to make sure, I know I'm interrupting, but I want to make sure we don't cross any, so.
No, we're not.
So,
No,
okay.
It's all part of the record.
Okay.
But it's not an affordable product, number one. It's just a market rate product, which is fine, but it's not an affordable product. It's nothing the administration is doing to squelch.
Mr. Mayor, I know.
Okay,
I know. No.
Go ahead.
And I know I'm interrupting you, but there's potential litigation, and I just don't want this to be used for. And hold on one second. I know I'm interrupting you. I'm going to get flack for it, but we are potential litigation. I don't want to get the city in any more trouble, and this can be used as evidence. So I just don't. I really don't want that to be used. I really want to keep the time to talk, but that is.
So that's issue one.
Right.
Mayor, I would concur with.
Okay, I understand. Okay, I was just pointing that out. Affordable housing, it's not affordable housing. That's it. I could say a lot more. I think are part of the record, and that would not damage us at all.
Can I speak
Okay.
back?
Listen, so your version of me talking is not really the version you're talking. So it's okay. It's okay. You're going to go ahead and maintain the position. You're going to, as it relates to the crosswalks. I told you before, viewpoint discrimination is well documented at the Supreme Court level. It's got nothing to do with Randy Taylor's view, and I've never been. If I had a real push to get those crosswalks to be covered up, guess what they'd be? They'd be covered up right now. I'm trying to find a cooperative way to transition from a viewpoint discrimination case. So that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Again, thank you all. Thank you all to those who came out and speak. We appreciate you. Thank you for underscoring that. Thank you. I appreciate hearing about how we can collaborate needs and how we can further help you all. So keep emailing, keep calling, keep showing up. We really appreciate it. I saw you all were exchanging contact information, so thank you for that, Mr. Don. Just going over a few things. I know that the council has already underscored a few items, but just pertaining to the new Canvas program and with the crosswalks that we have in our city, I told the mayor this in our meeting last week that, again, I think the program is a good initiative, but I think the follow-through, it could use some adjustment, and that our different committees, the Public Arts Committee and the Human Rights Advisory Committee, has voiced their opinions on how they are not in support of this. I think it's a time where we have to listen to our committees and make sure that we are supporting our residents. And so thank you for voicing concern. I think, while these things may seem minuscule to some people, I remember that's how I first got involved with community advocacy. It was the Black Lives Matter painting. That's the first time that I remember speaking publicly, and I remember the feeling and community, the impact that it made to the community of bringing folks together. So I'm honored that it's still here. While some cities have done away with them, I'm honored that it's still here as a Black or African American individual, and I appreciate that. So I can concur with how even the talks of those things being removed to a city, how it can feel to a community. So thank you for voicing that. And I myself will do everything to make sure that we help to preserve those items and look to different alternatives to how we can, display public art in our community. So thank you all for that. Again, thank you for bringing up affordable housing. But I stand by what I say one more time, is that we will bring it back. You'll see some discussions from council about how we can legislate and mandate safe, affordable, and attainable housing. But right now, there is a new project that has been pushed back for about a year and some months to go on the west side of town. New build of 50 units that they are just awaiting permits. And so again, council legislated for the pilot program for that, which it's all attainable and affordable housing projects have that across the country. They're just waiting for permits and then they can get started. But we've gone a year and a half of those houses, 50 units not being online because they have not been approved and not been going forward. So these are the things where we have to make sure that if we legislate, they have to be done on the other end. Same token to thank you all for the fire department for bringing forth the grant funding and bringing forth new funding. But right now, and the council has legislated and has supported the Lot 10 development and of the bringing in of $4 million of grant funding, which is just unheard of from the state. And they are willing to give us money right now. And if we don't use these funds, if we don't use these funds in the manner that they were given to us, that is going to affect us getting funds to help support our fire, EMS, police, and other forces, water and sewer, where it's going to cost the city millions upon millions of dollars, and we're looking to the state and federal level to make sure that they can subsidize that. So with $4 million not being used correctly, and there are state agencies, state officials right now who have been calling and emailing us concerned because they've heard buzz that we're going to move those funds, we will jeopardize our relationship with how we use funds, and that's going to affect street repair, everything else. So we have to just take a moment, dial back, and make sure we're doing things correctly. While we may not all agree on the intent right now, but it could affect Salisbury's future, and that's what we have to do. I think that is all that I have. Okay. But like I said, again, thank you all for coming. Thank you for your support. We look forward to continue to hear from you. With that being said, I do call this meeting is now adjourned. We will pivot, and I will call for a motion to convene in closed session to consult with legal, to obtain legal advice on a matter, and to consult with staff, consultants, and other individuals about pending or potential litigation as authorized by state government articles, section 3-305, B, subsection 7 and 8.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Thank you all.